Can I start?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Let's start.
Yeah. Very good evening to all of you who are present here. I am Sapna Srivastava, Principal of City International School, Ruchikhan Branch, Lucknow. I welcome you all in this evening with a great pleasure and with a very eminent speaker, Ms Rabiah Bhatiya, with us, and whose motto is "If be the change if you want to see." Very nice. And Ms Rabia, is felicitator and mentor, educationist, and she is also a spoken English trainer certified by the British Council with the 17 years of experience from Delhi. We are here to discuss on the topic of assessing need to start school, national need and community need. So we are going to discuss about this, and you are welcome to the disruptive education movement, which is organized by Dr. Sunita Gandhi ma'am, who is also a founder of Geti. So again, I am going to welcome you, ma'am, on this session. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sapna. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction. Hi, good evening to all who all are present here. And this is Rabia. I am very happy to be a part of Geti Global Disruptive Education Movement as an esteemed live session speaker. And I will be talking on the topic assessing need to start a school, national need as well as community need, and how to shape the minds of the next generation of students, inspire leaders of today for a disruptive change in education. Education is the seed that generates the future course of humanity and global development. Disruptive education movement has conceived with the sole vision to bring the best global education leaders under one platinum chartering the next quantum leap in education for world beneficence. So I would request you all to join the disruptive education movement with Dr. Sunita Gandhi, Geti founder. Together we can. My understanding is that the need for education is not only for the national need, but it's for the community need as well. The what I consider education to be the eliminating undertaking of my life. That is because the victory of education means the victory of life. The proud mission of those who have received an education must be to serve in seen and unseen ways the lives of those who have not got this opportunity. For me, the need of education, what I feel, if education is how we hope to change the world, then teachers are the most important human beings in any society. The humanity, especially the humanity of the teachers. We teachers, we as educationists, we should be very humble, we should be very polite, we should be very human. We should have a humanistic approach towards the students, towards the young generation. They are the future of the nation. So, if that is
Yeah.
the approach, most human beings in any society would be able to get the education without any pressure. The humanity of the teacher represents the core of the educational experience. For me, education must foster people who intuitively understand and know in their minds, in their hearts, with their entire being, the irreplaceable value of human beings and the nature world. I believe such education embodies the tireless struggle of human civilization to create an unerring path to peace. Why we need an education for for a prestigious and prosperous society, so that we can create peace in the society. Today, we need the education to stop these rape things, to stop all kind of crimes, to stop all kind of problems in the human world. People are uneducated, and that's why they are not able to understand the meaning of peace. They are not able to understand the prestigious and prosperous society. The three interlocking features requirements of national education are compassion, wisdom, and courage. We should have a lot of compassion towards other person. We should have courage to speak to the people. We should have courage to create a dialogue with the person who is undergoing a stress, who needs our help. So the compassion and the courage, that is what our society needs. And that is how, after developing that compassion, after having that courage to speak to a person, to get that person to into the education field, or to get the change in the society, we need to have a lot of compassion towards the person who is in the problem. The person who is in problem, if you see, most of the people are uneducated. That is the reason the society is going towards this kind of trouble. The society, the entire world is under turmoil. Why? Half of the generation is uneducated, is illiterate. This is the reason they're not able to understand what is right and what is wrong. But the education system, our education system is should be like that. Apart from the bookish knowledge, we should have the heart which understands the problem. We should be able to speak to 101. We should have a rapport building with the students. The students feel pressure, they commit suicide. We should be able to, as a teacher, as an educationist, we need to have a proper conversation, a one-to-one conversation with the child, so that we can understand their psychology, what is the child going through, whether they are going through some problem at their home or at the school itself, whether it is a peer pressure to get good marks, or there is a pressure from the parent side to become a doctor or an engineer. There are parents who are ready to spend a lot of money on the education system for their child, so that their child tomorrow can become an engineer, they can go to the foreign university, they can get a lot of degrees. But do you really think so that would actually make their destiny? The degrees, the marks doesn't make your destiny. You are the writer of your own destiny. You are the writer of your own script of your life. Write your own script.
True.
Make yourself that kind of person, make yourself that kind of human being where the other people are able to approach you and they should not be scared of you. Today, what is China doing? We are scared of China. Why? Because they are doing those things which are not good for the peace of country. Basic, not only country, it is against the peace of the
Whole
world.
world.
Whole world, entire world is gone for a toss. The peace is like there is no peace in any corner of the world. Why? China people, they don't have proper education system. People are not able to understand the need of education, the need of peace, the need of collaboration. We should be able to collaborate with each other, so that we should be able to have a very peaceful society, and we should be able to create harmonious relationships between the not only the person to person, but we should be able to create peace and harmonious relation between countries. India always has helped the other countries. Why? Our PM Modi, our Prime Minister, has been able to achieve that kind of relationship with the foreign countries, where we could have a proper bonding with them. We could have a proper understanding with them. We are able to engage with them in a dialogue because of the education system, because of the good education system the other countries are following. Still, India is lacking behind. Still, the other nation countries are lacking behind. So the need of education is not only for the community, not only for the nation. It is worldwide necessity these days. People, I believe the ultimate purpose of education, as with the purpose of life, can be experienced only with happiness. The word happiness here refers to the sense of fulfillment that comes from developing and depending upon one's humanity. Humanity, happiness, compassion, courage, they go side by side. Ra- we should be able to develop that kind of humanity wherein we should be more superficial state of simply being untroubled and having one's more own desires realized. National or community educational philosophy is essential about how to empower people to lead a happy and creative lives. We should be able to the CBSE system or IB curriculum. These curriculums, I don't say that these curriculums are not good for the students or they are not giving the knowledge to the students. They are good, but are they actually giving the moral values to to the generation, to the future generation? I think the moral values is the key factor to the happiness and key factor to the humanistic education. There are universal lens for teachers, educational leaders, parents, school reformers, and academics. All of us need to consider and actualize these requirements. We need the wisdom to believe that our actions can profoundly open up any deadlock and create a path forward. The actions, the effort, actions, China has made an action. China has taken a very, very sad action. It's a very upsetting action which China has taken. First, they spread the virus. Then they actually come and they fight with our army officers. They kill our army officers. Why? Their action is wrong because of the fact the education system is not balanced there. So the balance of education system only comes with the bookish knowledge plus with the moral values. The moral values are human being a humanistic. We should be able to create a culture where we all become a good human being. The human being doesn't mean an individual. We are human beings because we are living. We have got birth as a human being. No, human being is just not getting a birth like a human being. Human being beings become a get approach towards the humanistic approach towards each and every person. Get compassion, be wise. You should be so wise that you should be able to realize that what action is wrong and what action is right, whether it will disrupt the society or whether it will empower the society. We should be able to empower the society. We should be able to empower the young kids, the future of the generation, in such a way that they should be able to be creative in minds and action as well. They should be able to create those actions wherein their actions become makes a peaceful society. People are unhealthy, people are, we are not able to give them a proper, there are students, there are people who are living in slum areas. We need the education system in such a way that we should be able to cover those slum areas as well. There should be some kind of help from the government side even, that we should have digitalized system of education now, because the trend is there that we are doing online classes. Every school has started online classes. There are certain schools which have started with online schools even. But have you ever realized that with these online classes, digitalization, will it reach to the slum areas also? Where will they go? Where will those kids go? Why? Because NGOs have been closed now. We are unable to get those kids to the NGOs. Because of social distancing, because of this virus, because of some riots. At times, there are so many riots in the country. Where is peace? The peace is missing. The happiness of the person is missing. Happiness of the society is missing. So, my message to each and every one of you, can we have that kind of balanced education system wherein only we do not teach a child about the bookish knowledge, about the CBSE curriculum, about the IB curriculum, and we are not pressurizing a child to become a doctor only or an engineer? We have a lot of doctors, but still, are they able to take a right kind of approach? Are they able to take a wise decision at times? Unfortunately, not. Where we are lacking. Why? Because they only approach to bookish knowledge. They only know what is being taught to them. The treatment is only confined to the patient which is there in the books what they have studied. But and every doctor, each hospital, every doctor is running towards money only. If you talk about any hospitals in a country, take about in our country, take about Delhi only, hospitals, doctors have raised their charges, have raised the charges of the bed, have raised the charges of one night stay of a patient. Where will this the normal public go? Where will this general public go? We no compassion, no humanity, nothing is left in the society. It's only how to earn money, and that's it. Courage, compassion, harmony is the basic key to social change. We need the courage to engage with and learn from all people, uh, from all perspectives, difficult though it may be. But we need compassion, imaginative empathy to acknowledge the pain of people, whether they are near or far. China people, fine, they have done their own, whatever they wanted to do, they have done their own work. They have spread the virus, they have fought with us, they have killed our soldiers. But can we, as a human beings, can we approach towards, can we have a dialogue with them to spread peace and happiness in the world? We should approach to them, we should understand the problems with them, and we should be able to create a harmonious relationship with China as well. That's where India is lacking. Why? Because the education system is built in such a way that we have to take a revenge only. Whatever they have done, okay, let's take a revenge. That's how we will be able to survive. Remove that feeling of revenge. Let's create a harmonious society. Let's create a peaceful society, the happy society. For me, the purpose of education is nothing apart from happiness, the peace. The relationship between education and peace is vital. The essential responsibility of education is to foster the minds of youth, of education. Youth, a love of humanity. They should develop that love for humanity and a spirit to dedicate oneself for the sake of the people and for society. And again, the task of education must be fundamentally to ensure that knowledge serves to further the cause of human happiness and peace. Humanity is missing, of course. There have been numerous other examples in which education has functioned merely to produce self-serving elites. When education is is framed in terms of serving some national interest, a means of producing people of value for big business and industry. For example, its essential purpose of fostering human beings grounded in respect for humanity will be obscured. The ideal of fostering a love for humanity and a dedication to peace thus represents a core motivation of national education, an effort to direct learning to the service of humanity. It is a motivation that I believe both students and educators should keep clearly in focus. The ideal of national education, individuals grounded in a reverence for life and motivated by a sense of responsibility to create a peaceful and just global society for all. I come to education for wisdom. You know what is education for wisdom? Which the one of the mottos that I have created for value creation curriculum, for example, encourages students to always ponder the question: for what purpose should one cultivate a wisdom? What is our purpose? Are we wise actually? Are we able to think beyond the box? Are we able to think beyond becoming a doctor? Are we able to think beyond getting 90% marks? What is our purpose actually? Why we have born? Why we are getting this kind of education? Why there's a need of education with moral values? Have we actually pondered over this question? Education makes us free. It is through education that we are liberated from powerlessness, from the burden of mistrust directed against ourselves. The individual who has been liberated from self doubt, who has learned to trust in him or herself, is naturally able to believe in the latent capacities of others. Education enables us to look beyond superficial difference to perceive a great earth, great sea of life that sustains us all. Fl- I believe in flourishing educational system. Education deals with the essence of what is meant to be human. No undertaking is more valuable. Concern for the growth and happiness of others is the essential spirit of community or national education. Till the time we don't realize that what is the actual concern, what is the actual need of community or national education, till then we cannot empower the future generation. The only concern of community and national education is the growth and happiness of others as well, along with us. We need to understand that we as a team can only grow as a society. We as a team can only grow as a country. If one person is growing, the society will never grow. The country will never grow. We have to grow together. We should create a flourishing educational system that has the happiness of not only children, but for each and every human being as its core objective. Education is about believing in people, believing in some rich unknown quantity, and drawing this out. What is a humanistic education? I believe in promoting humanistic education. I believe in promoting kindness in the classroom. Not only classroom, I believe in promoting kindness in the society. And my goal is to continue applying the principles of humanistic education everywhere in my surroundings, in my society, in my country, across the globe. Create a fun learning atmosphere. The education system doesn't tell you to just read from the books or study from the books. Create a fun learning activities. The activities should be able to help your child, help your student for his or her brain development, to understand the value of education, to understand the value of happiness of each and every person, to understand the value of peaceful society, to understand the value of compassion, to understand the value of gratitude. Have the attitude of gratitude. We should be able to teach our child what is gratitude, what is the attitude of gratitude. If we are thankful to everyone, believe me, there would be a harmonious relationship, there would not be any war, it would be a peaceful society. Be an educator who challenges their own human revolution. What is human revolution? Human revolution to change yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Change yourself, realize your own mistakes. The more you change, the more society will change. The more you change your own mistakes, the more you work on your own mistakes, the other person, your friend, your colleague, your parents, your teachers will completely change the approach towards you. Their approach towards you will be more from their heart. They will be more loving. They will be more adorable. You would love to have the relationship which is like harmonious. There would be a cordial relationship between colleagues, between student and a child, between student and a teacher, between student and a parent. Be an educator who makes a difference with the big brightness of their lives. Now, if you come to community need, what is community need? We need to have sustainability development goals. If people are to take in the environmental issues as their own personal concern and to harmonize their efforts for our common future, education is vital. Only education can provide the driving force for such a renewal of awareness. The objectives of the decade would be to promote education as the basis of a sustainable human society and to strengthen international cooperation towards the dissemination of environmental information. There won't be any wars, there would be peace everywhere when we have the education with the sustainability development goals for the community. The, right? Ma'am, I would also, I would like to tell you about the evolution of the sustainability development. This concept, this sustainability encompasses not only the environment but also poverty, population, health, food, security, democracy, human rights, and peace. Never forget that the sustainability development community is what does community consists of? Community consists of population, health of people, food, security of people, and the human rights and the peace of the country, peace of the world. Because environmental issues are so deeply interlinked with these global issues, their resolution requires a fundamental rethinking of our way of life. We need to change the way of our life. We need to think what is going wrong in our way of life. The way we are living, something is wrong, and that is the reason there is a lot of sustainability development issues. There are a lot of community issues as individuals, as societies, and in terms of human civilization itself. The community, the need of education for community. In I think the decade of education for sustainable development should be promoted with the following three goals in mind. I'll just share the three goals: to learn and deepen awareness of environmental issues and realities, to reflect on our modes of living, renewing these towards sustainability, and the last, to empower people of all sectors, be it slum areas, be it the unprivileged kids, be it any sector. We need to empower all to take concrete action to resolve the issues which face. Last but not the least, my views is, if you want to change the world, you must change man. If you want to change man, you must make him want to change. And how can we do that? Change yourself. That is how people will see positive changes in you and they will change themselves. You can't change the other person without changing yourself. And I would like to offer these words of the renowned Nigerian writer Ben Okri from his poem dedicated to the new century. You can't remake the world without remaking yourself. Each new era begins within. It is an inward event with unsuspected possibilities for inner liberation. That means change yourself. That is how the world will change. That's all from my
Sure.
side. So I would like to thank you for giving me an
Thank you
opportunity to
so
talk about it. Thank you, ma'am. So, yes, ma'am. Tell me, how can I?
Thank you so much, Rabia. Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah. Thank you so much for your wonderful views about assessing the education of need of a start of education and the national need and the community need. So one question is there, what
Yes.
are the different phases in assessing the education? What are the different phases in assessing the education?
Ma'am, there are many phases, in fact, different phases. You know, we go out, right? We see students who are underprivileged. There are kids who are underprivileged. Do you really think so that India would be a developed country unless and until we will be able to empower the education to those kids who are underprivileged? We cannot have a developed country. India is still developing country. It is never known as developed country. So that is one phase where we could have that heart of helping those underprivileged kids in this phase. So first phase is this. Second phase, when we get the feeling of revenge towards other person, we need a kind of education system wherein we need to have a removal of revenge feeling, but to have a compassionate heart wherein we can have a create a dialogue. We can talk to that person that why he is doing a wrong act and he can go for the right act. So we need to educate that person with
Correct.
the right moral values. So this would be a second phase. Third phase, once we'll be able to empower the people, the students of our country, of our nation, will be able to help the world as whole. That is how this is the third phase of need of an education, to remove the
True.
peace
True.
feeling of revenge, to create harmony amongst us.
Okay. Thank you so much. Wonderful
Thank you,
answer.
ma'am. Thank you so
And
much, ma'am.
yeah, and one question is more like, what do you think about the academic skills and the life skills? Which is more important for the in today's scenario for the students?
Ma'am, for me, both are equal. Both have the equal roles to play in students' life. Without knowledge, which comes from the books, and without the life skills, which comes from the life schools, we cannot empower the future generation. The person who has to become a proper human being, they need to have a knowledge from the books. They need to know their history. Need to know their geography. At the same point of time, they need to have that life skills, how to create a peaceful world, how to go ahead and shake hands with the countries which are like becoming enemies for amongst us, or the people who are not able to understand the importance of harmony, importance of cordial relationship. So the both carries equal weightage for me. They need to have a
Yeah,
they
sure.
need they play an equal role in one's life actually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, both are equal according to
Absolutely.
us because without academic skills, students cannot go further in their career and all.
Career actually,
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
absolutely. But to
Sure.
become a human doctor, but to become a doctor with humanistic approach, they need to have a life skills also, the life skills learning also.
Uh, okay, thank you so much. And at a national level, how do you assess the education? What is the need there? How do
Ma'am,
you
as I
assess?
yeah, uh, at a national level, suppose now I think we all know how our prime minister has helped the medicine, has helped with the to 14 to 15 countries with the medicine for COVID-19. So every human being should be able to get that kind of approach. They should be able to have that kind of in wisdom and the courage to have a dialogue with the other countries, so that then if the other countries they need any help from us, we'll be able to help them with a better understanding. And be wise. Wisdom is important, ma'am. Wisdom will not come only from the books, only from the life skills. Wisdom will come from the experiences. So the life experiences are equally important. You know, we have studied, every student, we also have studied in history, there was first world war, second world war, we are scared of the third world war. So in case we are not able to give that kind of education to a child, where the child knows about first world war or second world war, we will not be able to stop the third world war. So the need for national education is again to empower the child with the history, with the geography, as well as to take the right approach, to take the right action, to so that we should not get into this third world war, or we should not get into any kind of wars amongst us, or we should not be able to, we should not get into any kind of fights between our countries, between any worldwide basically. So this is the reason, this is the phase, this is the need for national education also, that our nation should be empowered with academics and the life skills education as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful answer. So, all of you, we heard the views about the today's need of education, how to start for the need of education for the school at the national level and the community level. The views of Ms. Rabiha Bhatia were wonderful, and now we are going to wrap up our session. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for wonderful views, and thank you, Geti, for giving me opportunity to host such an eminent speaker. And we would like to connect you, ma'am, again on some other topic. Thank you so much. Thank you coming for the show on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And I hope I would be able to convey my message to the entire world to practice wisdom, courage, compassion, and
Thank you.
believe in humanity. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you.